And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here as we get ready for our second race of the season of the NNSCRA Almond Joy Series. We are here for race number 2 at Rockingham, UK. 34 laps of racing on tap here today. Should be an interesting one, and we're coming off a really exciting debut race for this series last week in which we saw Matthew Dallio just barely beat out Caitlin Sang at the start-finish line by a little less than half a car length. Hopefully we'll have as exciting a race here today at Rockingham, United Kingdom. On the pole position for today's race is going to be the 42 of Nick Johnson. So we'll see what Nick can do as he'll be looking for his first win of his Almond Joy career. Alongside of him, Paul Minnick, who really all but dominated the first half of last week's race at Daytona, but kind of faded from view late. He'll try and come back here, try and get a victory at Rockingham, UK. Back behind them, you've got the number 20 of, I just lost it. I had the name, and I just lost it. I got to go back and look at it. Well, that's a shame. Jeffrey Finguy, that's who it is. In the number 20 car, he'll be rolling off from the third position alongside of Kermika Jazin in the number 7. We will be showing you on the left side of your screen momentarily your full starting lineup for today's race, but we've got an interesting points battle. Obviously, it's going to probably be the closest the points will be for the entire season since we've only run one race. But, of course, Matt Dallio with the win obviously is the points leader over Caitlin Sang. Then you got Davey Johnson. He's now third in the point standings. And then it'll be Eric Hayden and Jay Jefferson. So we'll keep an eye on those drivers during the course of this race. But we're getting ready to go racing. So let's go down trackside now. Get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engine!
There is the command to fire them up. Pace car will lead them off of pit road. And we'll get ready to go. Oh, trouble for the pole sitter, Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson, the car is stalled out on him, and he's had to teleport into his pit stall. They've had to push him into his pit stall. Oh, what a tough break right out of the gate for the guy who was scheduled to start on the pole, Nick Johnson. That, as a result, means I think Jeffrey Finguy will be starting on the pole. But, oh man, that is such a heartbreak right there. Had the fastest car in qualifying, was on the pole, and now some mechanical issue. He couldn't even get the car fired up, apparently. And we'll have to document if he'll even be able to continue this race or not. Wow. What a tough break there. So Jeffrey Finguy lines up on the pole now, alongside of Paul Minnick. And we'll get ready to go here, but boy, that is such a tough break there for Nick Johnson. You got a feel for him. Matthew Dallio, the points leader, going to be rolling off, it looks like, from the 13th position, so we'll keep our eyes on the 78 during the course of this race. But here we come out of turn 4, getting ready to go racing here at Rockingham, UK. Pace car peels off. Take a look at this beautiful shot of being able to watch them go green. There you see the flagman has it in the air. Green flag racing here at Rockingham, UK. They are 4 wide, further back, and they're wrecking. They all keep it straight. Kermika Jazin involved in that. John Andrews in the 44. Everybody's going to get through. The 51 was also collected in that of Jose Lopez. Did that bring out a caution? No, it did not, because they kept it straight. We're somehow still green. Top 4 have broken away. Jeffrey Finguy, then Paul Minnick. Then you got a battle back here between a couple of teammates. That's Jonathan Zorlin in the 62, now getting passed for the 3rd position by DJ Curtis. And Curtis will take the spot. And now the battle on for the lead. Paul Minnick to the inside of Jeffrey Finguy. Can he make it stick? Ford Mustang against Toyota Camry. And at the line, Finguy will lead that lap, but here comes Minnick to the bottom. And he'll try and clear here off of turn 2. Or off of turn 1, rather. Now heading into 2. And he will indeed take the spot. DJ Curtis now going to try and take second. Curtis couldn't pull it off there, now tries to get the run out of 3. And look at how quickly the points leader and last week's winner, Matthew Dallio's worked his way up. He's now up to the 3rd position, looking for 2nd. Eric Hayden has also worked his way up quickly through the field. 4th in the point standings, he's now up in the 6th position. And Dallio works in a matter of 4 laps, less than 4 laps, from the 13th position now up to 2nd. That car is flying. DJ Curtis tucks back in the 3rd position, then you jump back to 4th. That's Jonathan Zorlin, but he's got a rear deck lid full of Eric Hayden in the 52. Hayden will jive to the bottom here into turn 1. And we've had a race for the 2nd position, and it is now over. DJ Curtis gets around Paul Minnick, and now sets his sights on Matt Dallio for the lead. I want to check the rear of the field after we had that near caution, but there's some good battling going on here at the front of the field. I don't really want to miss it. And here's DJ looking to the bottom on Matt Dallio at the line. DJ Curtis will lead that lap, and I think he might clear Dallio for the lead heading here into 1. Indeed he will. Coming out of turn 1, new leader, the 33. So as things have somewhat settled down, let's jump to the back here, and there's 2 of the cars that were involved in that incident we just saw back on lap 1 when they tried going 4 wide. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the car that took them 4 wide was the 78 of Matt Dallio, but apparently still up to speed, but with some damage on the right side of Kermika Jazin's number 7. And you can see the left side damage on Jose Lopez's number 51. Just up ahead there is the other car that was involved. Right side damage you can see there on John Andrews. But they have all been able to continue. And I want to look and see. Now the 42 car is still being scored as not completing a lap, and he's actually, from what I can tell, he's not even on the racetrack. No, he is not, and so looks like DNF for the pole sitter, Nick Johnson. They're going to go 3 wide here. That's Richard Johnson. Whoa, close quarter racing there with the 2 of Elijah Gordon. And just ahead, Cody Smart in the 22. Some good experience here for Elijah Gordon in that 2 car. He's going to be taking part in the Hershey's Cup Series race here tomorrow, as he qualified into that race in the knockout qualifying session. Up ahead, I saw another driver. There he is. That was working his way up through the field, and that is the 90 of Julio Cesar. He's now up, currently running in the 6th position. Up front, though, Matt Dallio has gotten around DJ Curtis and back to the lead. And as I'm currently looking at a live replay, yes indeed, Matt Dallio was the one that made the 4-wide situation that caused that incident involving John Andrews, Jose Lopez, and Kermika Jazin. But he actually didn't make the contact. Here comes DJ Curtis back to the bottom, trying to get the run on Matt Dallio. Couldn't quite get to his left rear coming out of 1. Now he'll try again here in turn 2. Laps ticking away quickly here. We'll have 10 of the laps completed already when we cross the line this next time by. 34 laps of racing. Curtis to the bottom on Matt Dallio. There's been a lot of passing for the lead here, so I like seeing that. And Curtis will lead yet another lap, and he will go back out in front. So right now, the battle is going on between DJ Curtis and Matt Dallio. Paul Minnick has kind of just fallen back into that 3rd position. He's just kind of riding there. I don't know if he doesn't have a car strong enough to compete with these 2 or not, but it almost looks like he better start stepping it up just at least a little bit, because Eric Hayden might be starting to reel him in for that 3rd position. As Dallio moves back by DJ Curtis once again. You would think that with the battling that Curtis and Dallio are doing right now, back and forth, that should allow Paul Minnick to be able to just concentrate on running fast lap times and reel these drivers in, because he doesn't really have any pressure. He's able to choose what line he wants to run here. And Curtis is going to try to get the lead again. These 2 have been swapping the lead back and forth, back and forth. Curtis leads a lap, Dallio leads a lap, then Curtis goes back to the front. Curtis again heading down into turn 4 is going to try and clear Dallio. Whoa, Dallio gets a nice run there on the high side out of 4. And at the stripe, he will at least hang on to the lead for now. Curtis will have to... Well, I thought he was going to tuck back in line, and he does. Thought he might still be to the inside of the 78, but not quite. Curtis going to try again, down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now keep in mind, the Almond Joy Series does have a chase. 12 chase spots up for grabs. Dallio right now currently holds one of them with his win last week at Daytona. DJ Curtis, he wants to grab one of them with a win here at Rockingham, UK, but Matthew Dallio would love to be able to start off the season 2 races, 2 trips to victory lane. Curtis not giving up though. Curtis keeps running just about a quarter groove lower in each corner than Matt Dallio. And we may have slower traffic to contend with shortly. That's the damaged car of Kermika Jasin. Got involved in that incident that we had. It didn't bring out a caution. It looks like the damage is finally catching up with that machine. He's in turn 1. The leaders are coming out of turn 4, so they're getting close to reeling in that 7 car. Now the 7 car is out of Junior Motorsports, and nobody of the top 3 is in any way affiliated with that team, so I don't know if Jasin has any alliance driver-wise with either of these two, but it'll be interesting to see what happens if these two do encounter him, especially if they're double wide like they are now. Curtis back to the lead. That time Dallio not able to get the punch out of turn 4, get back to the throttle quickly enough to hang on for the lead, and Curtis goes back to the point. About 1.3 seconds back is where you've got Paul Minnick. Let's actually go through the field here, see who's running where, at least in the top 10. DJ Curtis leading the way, Matthew Dallio there in second. Those two have had that battle for the lead going on for the last 10 or so laps. Then you got Paul Minnick, who may have to look in his rearview mirror shortly. He's in third, and here comes Eric Hayden in that 4th spot, looking for third. Running very solidly in the 5th position is Julio Cesar. Then you jump back here, and how about Nick Gunther's fighting his way up here? He's just taken the 6th position away from Jonathan Zorlin. Connor Breton just moved his way up into 7th place now. Moves Zorlin back into 8th. 9th place now is Jeffrey Finguy, who, as a consequence of Nick Johnson having some mechanical issue, he started it on the pole for this race and completing the top 10. How about the 14 of Kev Shearer? Nice run for him here today in the top 10. Jump further back, 11th place there is Richard Johnson. You got the 16 of Cody Hagan, currently running in 12th. Cody Smart in a battle right now with the 46 of Jonathan Rains and the 89 of Benny Watson. That is a battle that is going on right now for, I believe, the 13th position, and they're going to go 3 wide. Benny Watson looking way down low, and he will take the spot. Angel Navarro just behind this as well in that number 25, and move Watson, I believe, into the, I want to say, the 13th position, and yes, indeed, that would be the case. Smart back to 14th, and Rains back into the 15th position as now Watson sets his sights on Cody Hagan, trying to fight his way up towards the top 10. Connor Breton and Nick Gunther got a good battle going on right here. That's for the 6th position. Nick Gunther had actually a pretty good run at Daytona, if memory serves me correctly. And so trying to follow it up with a solid outing here at Rockingham, UK. Here comes Breton to the inside. Just barely gets to the left rear quarter panel. And he'll try and make the move here into 1. Can't quite get there, at least this time. And these two are starting to reel in Julio Cesar, so we could have a 3-way battle for the 5th position momentarily. Leaders have been able to get around Kermika Jasin in the 7, so now the 7 car is 1 lap down. That leaves us a total of 38 cars now on the lead lap. 1 car a lap down, and 1 car out of the race, the pole sitter Nick Johnson, who never even got to take the green flag. But the battle continues for the lead. DJ Curtis continuing to run where Matt Dallio is not. And it almost looks like now DJ may have used up his stuff. He's not getting that big pull on that inside line like he used to be able to suck right up to the back bumper of Matt Dallio's car, especially there in 1 and 2. That was where he was at his best. Let's see if he can do it again here. It sounds like they'll be encountering yet another slower, damaged car in just a moment, that being the 51 of Jose Lopez. And Curtis that time got the run out of 2, so looks like maybe Curtis is better in 1 and 2. Dalio might be better in 3 and especially 4, but Curtis going to try and make the move here into 4 on Matt Dalio, especially with the slower machine just up ahead. See if this might be the right time to do it. And Curtis will not quite clear for the lead. Gets a little loose right there. That allows Dalio on the outside line to pull alongside once again. They'll continue their battle into 2. Almost made some contact there with each other. As that time Dalio got a little loose. Had to try and save the race car and nearly saved it by dooring it into the 33. Still side by side heading into 4. And as you can see, as the tires wear down, the handling begins to go away. The grip seems to be going away. Wow, what if that were the finish right there? That was dead even between the two, and they gave the spot, the top position, to Matthew Dalio at the line. Now, where is the 51 of Lopez going to go? Where are these drivers going to be able to go to maneuver their way around him? It looks like both cars got loose, and Dalio will take the spot back, and now the two of them will go single file trying to get around the slower damaged 51. Whoa, Dalio not giving Lopez very much room. But he will take the spot, and there are 10 laps to go left here in this race. And I don't think we've seen our last battle for the lead. Curtis now has cleared Lopez. See if there's any other lap traffic these drivers might encounter. There you've got the 05 of Davey Johnson, third in the point standings, not having the best of runs here, just behind John Andrews. And there you've got Brooke Allen and 98 of Mike Becker. They're in turn 1. The leaders are coming out of turn 4, so they are starting to slowly reel in those guys. Don't know if those cars will all be a factor or not, but I'll tell you the 2 cars that will be a factor will be, obviously, Matthew Dalio and DJ Curtis. I think those 2 are still going to continue to battle for the lead. The question is, though, what are they going to be able to do with each other once they both have reeled each other back in? Because we've seen them already battling for the lead here at the beginning of the race. They looked much more stable than they did on that second encounter, where both cars seemed to enter the corner extremely loose. Curtis is closing the gap up again, though, between himself and Matthew Dalio, so the battle will be on once again for the lead. Maybe with somewhere around 5 laps to go. This should be very interesting. Matthew Dalio looking for his second straight victory, coming off a win last week at Daytona. DJ Curtis looking for his first win of his Almond Joy Series career. And it seems like Curtis can get there. He can get alongside, but he can't complete the pass, especially here in the closing times that we've seen the battle for the lead go on between these two. Does Curtis have enough rubber, enough grip, and enough speed to get back up to the bumper of Matthew Dalio? Eric Hayden has recently been able to move his way by Paul Minnick for the 3rd position. Minnick back to 4th, and now Nick Gunther is up into the top 5. He was able to get around Julio Cesar for that spot. So moves Cesar back to 6th, Breton into 7th, Finguy 8th, Zorlin in 9th, and Kev Shearer in the top 10. But this battle for the lead continues on here. They are in turn 2. The last car is in turn 3. And now the leader's in turn 3, so they are closing in on the tail end of the field. And I don't want to jinx it, but things are looking like they may encounter drivers just barely at the tail end of the lead lap before this race is over. That could play a huge factor into the outcome of this race. 5 laps to go. Curtis still hanging within 0.3 of a second behind Matthew Dalio. He may be banking on the fact Dalio could have some trouble with drivers on the tail end of the lead lap, who, by the way, are up to speed. The only reason why they're way back here is because they've had to battle with traffic all race long. These 2 leaders, they've only had to battle amongst themselves. Things can get very congested at the rear of the field. Things get a lot more spacious up front and allow drivers to run quicker lap times, which allows them to reel in the back end of the field very quickly. Nick Gunther picks up another spot, move the 11 up to 4th. And Ben Watson just moved by Kev Shearer into the top 10. They'll come to the stripe this time. It will be 3 laps to go. Matt Dallio, DJ Curtis closing in on the tail end of the field. That's Brooke Allen in the 0. Davey Johnson in the 05. The 44 of John Andrews as Dallio tries to get to the inside of Allen. Allen wanting to stay on the lead lap, blocking the 78, and here comes DJ Curtis. Big head of steam right on the back bumper of Dallio. Into turn 4 they go. Dallio moves up. Curtis stays about a half groove lower. Right on the back bumper, 2 laps to go. Can Curtis use the traffic to his advantage to take the lead and the win? Right on the back bumper, looking to the low side. Now tucks back in line as Dallio will try and go to work here on Davey Johnson. Johnson moves low to block Dallio. Dallio trying to get by. Curtis right there ready to pounce. Dallio now moves to the inside on the 05 of Johnson. Curtis right there to follow through. Dallio now on the bottom of the racetrack as well, trying to get by John Andrews as the white flag is displayed. Can Curtis make a move? Can Dallio hang on? They've got Mike Becker up ahead. Contact back there between Andrews and Johnson. They keep it together. Dallio works his way by Becker. Curtis has a little bit more difficulty getting by the 98. That may be all that the 78 of Dallio needed. Curtis has one more shot heading down here into turn 4. Matthew Dallio, what a start to the season. He'll pick up his 2nd win of the year here at Rockingham, UK. The Almond Joy Series debut season. First race, Matthew Dallio by half a car length beats Caitlin Sang to take the inaugural checkered flag, and 1 week later, battles with DJ Curtis, comes out on top, and he is a back-to-back winner in the first 2 races of the Almond Joy Series. And that, I think, will all but clinch him a spot in this season's Almond Joy Series chase for the championship. What a dominating start to the season for Matthew Dallio. Man. But he definitely had to earn it, especially there in those closing stages. DJ Curtis was there ready to pounce. I think it was that one car of Mike Becker that Dallio was able to get around a little bit better than Curtis, and Curtis would have needed maybe another lap to get back into contention to make a move on Matthew Dallio. But Dallio, 2 for 2 in Almond Joy starts of taking trips to victory lane. How about that? DJ Curtis will finish in 2nd. How about Nick Gunther? That car seemed to come alive here in the later stages of this race. He worked his way all the way from 8th to 3rd place here today. A solid outing for that 11 car. Mitchell Carter, nice run for him in the 4th position. I'm sorry, I actually kept saying it was Eric Hayden. Hayden's in the 18, so I apologize for that. Mitchell Carter, though, a great run in 4th. Paul Minnick will get 5th. Connor Breton 6th. 7th place for Julio Cesar. Jeffrey Finguy in 8th. 9th, Jonathan Zorlin. And much like Nick Gunther, another car that came alive in the closing stages, Benny Watson will get the 10th position. Kev Shearer will finish in 11th. Jonathan Rains in 12th. 2nd in the point stands, Caitlin Sang, a pretty good run in 13th, but the bad news for her is that Matt Dallio went to victory lane for a 2nd straight race. Richard Johnson, Angel Navarro will complete the top 15, and then the rest of the top 20 are Colin Denton, Ryan George, Cody Smart, James Qualls, and Elijah Gordon. A couple of drivers we haven't mentioned of where they finished are 3 drivers who came into this race in the top 5 in the point standings. And as I look down through the running order, you've got to look a long ways down before you find those 3. Eric Hayden, who came in 4th in points rather. 32nd, Jay Jefferson came in 5th in the point standings. He finished 33rd. And Davey Johnson came in 3rd in points, and he finishes a lap down in the 35th position. We had a total of 33 cars finish on the lead lap. We had a total of 6 drivers finish a lap down, and of course 1 driver out of the race. That was the pole sitter Nick Johnson, who never even got to take the green flag. Unfortunately, he's not scored here. He will get the points for 40th place once I do the point standings, but he's not here on the list because he didn't even complete 1 lap in this event. So it goes without saying that we're going to have some familiar faces still at the top of the leaderboard as far as the point stands are concerned. Matthew Dallin and Caitlin Sang, I think, will still be up there. But with the hardships that were had by the other three that came in the top five in the point standings, we could have a very different looking top five heading into next week. Next week, we head to the high-speed racetrack of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Can Matthew Dallio go 3 for 3? That'll be awfully interesting to find out, as he's already gone 2 for 2 here in the recently debuting Almond Joy series. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in to today's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. You are currently looking at your point standings heading into next week at Las Vegas. No surprise, Matthew Dallio, 2 races, 2 wins, is still the points leader. To finish off this race weekend, we've got the Hershey's Cup Series race here from Las Vegas. From Las Vegas. Good job, me. From Rockingham, UK. Hope you'll tune in for that, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. So long from Rockingham, UK.